every day during the season, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They put a lot into this. I was happy for our fans. I was really happy. I mean, you know, when you come back and win in a game like we did, if you're a competitor and you respect people who are great competitors, you have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for. At halftime, there were very few people who really thought that we had any chance at all to win. And my last comment to the team before we went out for the second half was, we've been behind 24-3 and came back and scored 45 straight points on the team and won a game. So if we're just focused on execution and having the discipline to do your job and do it with great effort, toughness, and being more physical than the other team, we just need to execute and play our game. And if we do that, we'll give ourselves a chance to win, and the players did.
We're going to go over here to our right-hand side in the middle.
Ralph Russo with the Associated Press. This is for Duran. I'm sure you have friends on.
Just going day by day.
We're here down in front.
Dennis Todd again, CBS Sports. Nick, what is the quarterback situation going forward now, going into the next season between Jalen and Tua?
Well, look, we have two good quarterbacks on our team, no doubt. Both of them made a great contribution to the success of the team this year. And, you know, I think that we haven't really made a decision about that. And I don't think it's imperative that we make one right now. We've got two fine young men who really respect each other and have worked hard to help each other all year long, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in the future.
As a follow-up, you kind of touched on it earlier, but in your mind, you're not going to tell us, do you see a finite end to this, to your career, or is it just as open-ended as it was when you guys kicked off last night, that you're just going to consider things down the line?
I think that as long as I feel like I can do a good job for the players and the team, from an energy level, from a focus level, from a concentration level, from providing a good staff of people around them to, you know, help them have success. I've said this for many, many years now that I get asked this question. I've been part of a team since I was 9 years old. Hard for me to imagine what it would be like not being a part of a team. I enjoy the competition, I enjoy the players, I enjoy the relationships that you have, you know, on a team, and there's a lot of positive self-gratification for me to see these guys have success, not just on the field, but as people, as students, as players, to see them go on and be successful with their careers. So, you know, these are things that I know that I cannot do forever. But there's certainly things that I have enjoyed and hope I can continue to enjoy in the future.
Go over here to our far right.
Kurt Bowles from the Austin American Statesman. Nick, I'm curious if you ever wear your national championship rings, and if you do, how the hell do you ever pick which one to wear?
Well, I don't, so I do respect the symbol that those rings have significance to, you know, what they mean. You know, when we started talking about building monuments about winning championships at Alabama, there was only one thing that I demanded that they do, and that's put every player's name on the plaque that was on the team so that they could come back, and it was a part of their personal legacy of their accomplishment as well as the significance of them being a part of a group and a part of the team. And so 25 years from now, they can bring their grandson or their son and say, see, I was a part of that. And I think that's what those rings do. So as long as you have them, I don't see any reason to wear them. But I'm certainly proud of them.
Over here on our left-hand side.
This is for the players, Jeff Spiegel, WBNA TV in Birmingham. Building on what Coach Saban just talked about, I guess first of all, how does it feel to be a part of Crimson Tide history forever and ever and ever? And I was curious as to how much sleep you guys got last night.
It's definitely a great feeling knowing that all our hard work in the off season and in the summertime, it all came to flourish. And on the sleep, I think I just laid there last night. I didn't really get too much sleep.
And to piggyback off of what Payne just said, same goes for me. You know, it's just a great opportunity to be here. It's a blessing as well, and I got no sleep at all last night. You know, I couldn't sleep because if I slept, I would never woke up to come to this thing. So, I mean, aside from that, I mean, it was a good team win. You know, I still can't believe that this is what happened. You know, it feels like another game, but yeah.
Go right here in the middle.
Yes, Dwayne Rankin, Montgomery Advertiser. First question is for Deron. When you guys as a recruiting class came in, I remember Ronnie Harrison saying, we're going to win a national championship. You guys have won 2. What does that mean to be part of this class that's been able to accomplish that in 3 years?
Oh, it's a lot of fun just knowing that we came in and accomplished a lot of good things. And our classes as a whole have been, I think we played a big role in the championships that we won. And I'm just glad to be a part of the team and all the good memories.
Secondly, Coach, Tua's made a lot of throws, obviously, but his run on 3rd and 7 to pick up the first down kept that drive going. Just speak to that play and how that got the ball rolling for him later throughout the game.
Yeah, I always kind of tell, Tua that, the one thing we have in common is we're both sneaky quick and sneaky athletic. I'm right-handed, he's left. But I think that the one thing that people probably underestimate a little bit from his perspective and his standpoint as a player is he does have really good quickness. He is, I think, sometimes underestimated in terms of his ability to make plays with his feet. And he made a fabulous play on that 3rd down.
Stay in the middle section right here.
Ben Jones from the Tuscaloosa News. Could you talk about what happened with Mekhi Brown in the 3rd quarter and whether you considered not putting him back in the game at all after that?
What are you talking about? I mean, the penalty that he got?
It looked like he had a confrontation with the staffer on the sideline after that.
A complicated what?
A confrontation with the staffer on the sideline.
I really don't know what you're talking about. The only thing that I have said to Mekhi Brown was he got a penalty. It was after the whistle for pushing and shoving, which was an emotional decision, which is selfish on his part that penalized the team, gave him the ball on the 40-yard line instead of the 25-yard line, and just asked him if it was worth it. He went back in the game, though, and played and actually made a tackle inside the 20 on the kickoff. So in a time where we have a lot of things to be happy about, it's kind of amazing to me that you would pick out one little negative thing and even ask about it. that is so insignificant in what happened in the game.
Take our final question from the back.
Good morning, guys. Marty Smith from ESPN. Coach, I was speaking last night we're right in the middle. I was speaking last night with Rashawn Evans after the game. I'm not sure he's taken that uniform off yet. About what you said to them at halftime, and he said part of your brilliance is the willingness to make really difficult decisions immediately and not waver. So I wonder, as it pertains specifically to the quarterback decision, how do you balance or weigh your respect and appreciation and admiration for what one player has achieved for the team versus the potential for what another player can provide the team? How do you balance that?
Well, I don't know that you can balance. I think you do show your appreciation for it. I mean, one of the first things that I said to Jalen was, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You put us in a position by the plays that you made and the way you played all year long. But it just seems to me like if we're going to have the best chance to win this game, that we may need to do it in a different way. And I think he understood that. I'm sure he didn't. Any competitor would not accept that willingly, but I mean, as a team player, he was very supportive of Tua in the second half. I think he helped him in every way. I think Tua has done that for him all year long. Look, every player that's a competitor wants to play, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for competitors. You know, when boys used to come to the door and ring the doorbell to take Kristen out, I used to run to the door and open the door and ask them, "What do you play?" And she really used to get pissed, but that's that. I mean, I just, you know, I mean, it's just, that's me. I have respect for that. So, and I certainly have respect for the way these guys competed for us all year long. And I think they respect each other because of that. And I think their teammates respect them for that. You know, this happened once before when I was at LSU, I think in our first year. You know, Josh Booty was our quarterback. We got behind Georgia Tech like 14-0 or something here in Atlanta, playing in the Peach Bowl. And, you know, I just went in at halftime and said, "Rohan Davey, you need to go play because we need a spark on offense and we need something to change." And we ended up winning the game 28-14. So sometimes you just, you know, a little change of style, a little spark sort of ignites everyone. And I think that happened in the game last night. And, you know, Tua gets a lot of credit for that, but I think his teammates responding to him was equally as important.
Okay, at this time, we're going to transition into a couple photo opportunities. I'd like to invite all three of you to surround the championship trophy, if you would. Again, as a reminder, if I could get everybody on the floor to stay all the way down, we're going to do it in two sections. We're going to allow our folks back on the risers to get theirs first, and then we will go ahead and give you plenty of time. So again, if you guys could get all the way down so the back riser has a clean shot, please, please. Let's start with the folks on the back riser. Give them a couple seconds. Okay, down here in front, our still photographers, get what you guys need. And again, just as a reminder, if you can get your shot and move to the side, that would be great. Okay, Coach, we're going to ask you to stay, but we're going to allow the players to head back here for a second, and we're going to just do one more photo op with you and the trophy, please. Again, if I could get everybody on the front to please sit down and get all the way down. Let's let the folks on the back riser have their time. All right, down here in front, photographers, still photographers. Perfect. Thanks very much, Coach. That concludes this morning.